David Letterman is a good friend of mine. As you well know, he has had his own highly successful show on NBC for a decade. Would you welcome Mr. David Letterman? Isn't that nice?
I've never been so damn popular.
Isn't that nice?
Thank you. Let me just check something. The line was just a potty sitting minute, Sheila. Was
You got it.
You can't beat wacky props.
You
can
can't? No. We go with the good stuff.
And by the way, I appreciate the shot in the monologue. That did a world for my morale. You know, boom! Well, I just pack up and get in the car now.
I picked up that gentle humor from watching you.
You've been...
He that giveth must also taketh.
You've been saving that joke since the coup.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Yes, on the off chance you might show up here.
Now, let me, before we continue, we'll get to your questions in a second.
Sure, no problem.
By the way,
And I have some.
can I have a word with the band?
Certainly.
Excuse me, guys?
Yeah.
The gravy train is being discontinued.
They actually will have to get...
No, there's
That's
one
right.
for the band now.
They'll actually have to go out and make a decent
Actual
living.
gigs.
That's right.
Anyway, I came over here early. I'm terribly nervous about the appearance, and I say to myself, Dave... Oh, hi, Ed. Nice to see you. I say to myself, Dave, let's go get us a beverage. So I go to this place down the street there, down Alameda, and it's one of these places sells a lot of muffins. In fact, it sells mostly muffins, but no, that's not the name of the place. And I go in there, and I see that they have coffee as well.
Right.
I think, good, I'll go in and get myself a hot steaming cup of joe. Now, behind the coffee machine, there's a sign up on the wall, and it says, helium balloons, 75 cents. I see an opportunity for comedy. So I wait in line, and the guy behind the counter says, can I help you, sir? And I said, yes, I would like a cup of coffee. And he says, okay, you want anything in that? I said, yes, I'd like some helium. He looks at me, he looks back at the sign, and he says, that's only for balloons.
There's an old adage. Never joke with the tradespeople. Rule number one in comedy: never joke with the tradespeople.
Oh man!
Well, why don't I just start off with a question here? Just how pissed off are you? I've never asked that question in many years here.
Johnny, let me give you a little piece of advice. You keep using language like that, and you're going to find yourself out of a job.
A lot of people, we've known each other for over 10 years.
Long time.
When you first came on this show. And I remember the very first joke I remember you doing on the show. Mm-hmm. And it had to do with brushing your teeth when the toothpaste congeals in the sink, right?
Yeah.
And it makes those little hard things, and you said you chip them out and serve them for dessert mints,
That's
right?
Yeah.
Just to show you I can still remember what you did.
Yeah.
Now, with all that's been going on, and all the stuff that's been in the papers, and in conjecture and theory by the critics and the people, because as you know, a friend of yours is taking over here next May, and you...
Well, I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said... And there were all these things in the
like
paper.
a waitress, Ed. I'm a little nervous.
There were rumors in the paper you were going to firebomb NBC. You were going to do all these...
Well, I hate waiting in lines, but I'd do it.
No, don't get Shaughnessy started. No, don't start with Shaughnessy and the rim shots. We'll never get through anything here. So, do you want to address this question?
Oh,
Is there anything to address?
No. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at NBC about this.
Right.
Not angry at Jay Leno about this. Not angry at you or the Tonight Show about this. I mean, realistically, if it were not for you, I wouldn't have a show, and I wouldn't have socks actually if it weren't for you. And now, if the network had come to me and they say, Dave, we'd like you to have this show, and then a week later they said, Dave, we don't want you to have the show, then you could be angry about that. But I have a show.
Yes, you do.
And NBC can do whatever they want with this show. So I was never angry. Now, would I like to have the show? Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's honest.
I'd like to be looking at new upholstery now, and from what I know of you, a guy can make a pretty comfortable living doing this show. So, yeah.
If you play your cards right and don't give it all away, you can. That's right. Can you envision yourself? We're going to finish it almost 30 years in May. Can you envision yourself 20 years from now doing your late night show? I'll put down as a. I'll put that down as a hardly no, right?
I don't know how you've done it. I don't. 10 years to me seems like. Some nights it seems like it's been 10 years. No, I don't think we got much beyond. 10 years seems just about right sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway.
But the question to ask maybe. What is that? Are they upset about something?
Well, they said 10 years. Maybe you said maybe long enough. They don't want you to quit.
Part of the problem is the answer is incomplete because I wasn't paying close attention to the question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I may have misanswered that question.
No, it doesn't make any difference. I forgot what I asked.
Yeah.
We have to do this, Peter.
All right, so we can finish up with this when we come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Sure.
Stay where you are, folks. We're coming back.